Howdy ho everyone, I am Nathan Blake and welcome to What's in the Bag 2. Kinda. Because What's in the Bag 1, I went to Walmart and I bought a bunch of weird, random, and cool stuff. And this is a smattering of other things that I have recently purchased that I decided that I would show to you. Mostly because one of them is really cool and interesting, and one of them I was actually challenged to purchase and eat. So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into that. The first thing that I'm just going to show you is I got a new wallet case for my phone. I've never really had a wallet case before. As you can see, it keeps your phone and your cards and stuff like that. There's actually a pocket in back here behind there for your cash or any cards or paperwork that you want back there. You can still use your phone or your camera, and it also has kind of a prop up feature that can be used like that. And this part of it can actually flip back there, and it actually sort of magnets to itself so that it stays in a usable state. The one thing that I don't like is this flap is huge and it's kind of in the way, and I never know what to do with it at all. It's just always there. Haunting my dreams! So that's my phone case. I wanted to get that to protect the screen on my phone. My old screen protector fell off. I think it's down here on the floor somewhere, actually. Old screen protector fell off. Gross. I'm going to show you, but it's kind of gross. Anyway, the old screen protector fell off, and the sticky parts had gotten worn out for some reason, and so so yeah, there's that. The other thing that I got, I'm gonna start playing more Switch on the channel. So for that, I wanted to get a Switch Pro controller, and so I have the Zelda Breath of the Wild Switch controller now. And I know that this is not like rare or that interesting or anything, but it's so cool. I mean, just look. There we go. You can see pretty well there. It's cool. It's really neat. I like it. Also, the controller feels great. The only thing that I've noticed, like I love everything about all of it. It's great ergonomical design, which obviously is basically a 360 it's basically identical to the Xbox 360 controller, or pretty similar to an Xbox One controller. So obviously it'd be pretty good. Better D-pad though, because Nintendo actually holds the trademark on the solid cross D-pad, which is why others do full circles, or PlayStation does the individual almost buttons, but underneath it's still one solid D-pad. The one thing I noticed, so keep an eye out for this if you decide to get one of these, the Y button stuck a little bit for a little while, and it actually got stuck in, and I had to smush on it a whole bunch to get it to come back out. So I imagine that was a fluke, and I haven't gotten it to do it again since then. But I would totally keep that in mind, and keep your packaging in case you need to replace it. But anyway, it is a wired controller, but the wire is just a regular mini USB, so you can use any cable you want for that. It comes with a really good long one. I just unplugged it because it's way easier for me to wave around in front of the camera without a cord in the way. So those are the two things that I got that I just got this week and thought were neat, and so I wanted to show them to you. The other two things that we have are food-based. On my friend Deanetic's channel, or Earthly Gaming, he ate some Paqui Ghost pepper chips, and then he challenged me to do the same. So I purchased these from the Amazons. From Amazon.com, not from the Amazons. These are haunted ghost pepper Paqui chips. It does say Paqui rhymes with hockey on the back, so that you know how to pronounce it. The warning says the contents of the bag are extremely frightening. Paqui is not responsible for any injuries that may result from the ingesting this delicious terror. The use of gloves and safety goggles is encouraged. Common side effects include addiction to burning pain, blurred vision, and unquenchable thirst. Enjoy with caution. Consider yourself warned. So I'm going to eat this at the end of the video, not right this moment, because I want to enjoy the other thing that I have before I get to these. So the other thing that I have is a little more interesting, a little more rare. Purchased online from a Japanese website. that I don't remember the name of. I have found and purchased peach Coca-Cola. As you can see, I cannot be sure what the ingredients are. I'm assuming none of them are going to be inherently deadly to me. I don't have any allergies or anything that cause me to actually die, so you don't have to worry about that. Red dye does make me very hyper, but I'm super exhausted today, so that might be okay. And yeah, so that's pretty much the only thing that I'd be concerned about in a peach beverage. But looking at it, it doesn't seem to have a peach color at all. It might be harder for you to see than me, but it doesn't seem to have a peach hue to it at all. So I've had this puppy in the refrigerator all day so that it'd be nice and cool and crisp. And I really, really love the bottle, like the design and the full cowling, for lack of a better phrase, with the label being all over the whole thing. Dang, that really exploded. Oh, and it's just smoking. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's so wonderful. Okay, so now we're gonna try this out. This is peach Coca-Cola. It's a Japan-only product. That's really legitimately good. It's more peach than Coke, but it still definitely has a Coca-Cola flavor in it. It's really good. I really, really like it. If these were sold in America, I would drink them all the time. It was $15 for me to get this here. And I did that for you guys so I could show it to you so that we could talk about it, so I could tell you what it tasted like and tell you if it was a cool thing. But yeah, I heard that it existed, and I was like, well, one of my favorite sodas that exists is peach knee-high. Any peach-flavored sodas are generally my favorites. I also really love Coca-Cola, and I love flavored Coca-Colas, vanilla Coke, cherry Coke, back when they had cherry vanilla Coke. Just some good stuff. So I was like, well, if it's Coca-Cola and it's peach, I'm going for it. That's really good. That's super tasty. It's very sweet, but it's got that peach sweet flavor to it, you know. And there's not much of the crisp Coke bite, but there's still that smooth Coke flavor underneath it. So it's a very sweet peach flavor and a very smooth Coke flavor, but it's not crisp. It doesn't bite like a citrusy beverage does. Or like Coke does in general. It actually, kind of the smoothness reminds me a little more of Dr. Pepper, for sure. Yeah, so that's really, really good. I really, really like it. I love how it opened. It was a good noise. I hope that picks up on the microphone, because it was a great noise. Okay, full disclosure, this has been cut in from after the video. I actually have recorded this post. I'm wanting to talk to you. I'm wanting to encourage you. My channel has been growing. And your channels, those of you who have channels, have been growing too. Whatever it is that you do, whatever talent it is that you have, you're getting better. You're honing your skill. You're practicing. You're improving. And it may look like little bits at a time. Just like we saw whenever I got 750 subscribers, whenever I went back and looked at my first video, those little bits at a time, they build up, they grow, they really show a difference. You know, a tree takes a long time to go from a seed to a tree. But when it's done, it's way bigger, it's way stronger, and it's way more fruitful than a corn plant. You know, corn grows pretty quickly, shoots up, it gets pretty tall. It has fruit pretty quickly. You know, I know it's a grain, but you know what I'm saying. But it's flimsy. It's easy to break. But an oak tree takes a long time to grow. It takes a long time to get big. It'll take more than a year for it to catch up with a corn stalk. But that doesn't mean that it's worse than the corn. In fact, at the end of the day, if you have one good fruit tree, then you're going to get fruit off of that tree for years to come. You have to plant fields of corn to get plenty of corn, and that's one season. I'm not saying that growing your channel quickly is bad, and I'm not saying that everyone who grows their channel quickly is going to fall out of popularity or something like that. What I'm saying is that slow and steady growth is a good thing. So don't feel bad if you're not getting 10, 15 subscribers a day. I'm not even getting 10, 15 subscribers a day. Be excited for every subscriber you gain, every view you get that is beyond your norm. Look at your analytics, see what your viewers like, see what they want, and try to tailor your content to them and what they are watching. Don't be fake and do what you love, but remember that creating content for other people is also why most of us have gotten into this. So as long as you're growing steadily and you're working hard at it, you will eventually be successful. There's no reason to believe that you're going to stop growing and you're going to shrink and you're going to disappear. YouTube doesn't hardly do that. That's one of the cool things about it is enough time and effort, eventually you will grow. Some grow faster than others, but those that grow steadily and slowly grow into mighty fruit-bearing trees. And if you're a mighty fruit-bearing tree instead of a crop of wheat, then you'll be around next year. It may take patience. It may take watering it every day. Sometimes it may take pruning, and pruning can be painful sometimes. For those of you who don't understand that analogy, even on a fruit tree, you have to cut off branches that aren't good, or that are growing out too far, or that aren't bearing good fruit, or that are damaged, because you want the nutrients to be going to the good fruit-bearing branches. And sometimes you're going to be pruned too, and sometimes that means losing subscribers. Sometimes if you're an artist, that means that you're going to have a rough patch where you're not going to have inspiration, or if you're a writer, you might have writer's block for a little while, things like that. But I honestly think those times grow us. They make us into better people if we let them. And so I think that at the end of the day, you will see that if you have the patience and the motivation and the effort and the work ethic, and if you're looking in the right direction, then you will be able to grow whatever it is that you do. There's no reason it won't, except for whether or not you're willing to put in the effort and whether or not it's something you want to do. You can do this. Every famous person ever was a normal person to begin with. And fame isn't even necessarily something that we're all trying to achieve. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that everyone who was good at something started with nothing and worked their way up to it. Most successful people in this world started out as a college dropout or even a high school dropout. The smartest people I know are usually old men that never finished high school because they had to support their family, but they're geniuses that can build anything. Never forget that your level of education or your station in life, your gender, your race, your religion, those things aren't important to whether or not you can strive for success. So keep pushing, keep going, keep working as hard as you can. Because I honestly believe that when someone puts their mind to it, when someone puts the time, the effort into it that is necessary, that they will see results eventually. And sometimes it's a slow, steady process. But when they're done, they're a mighty oak tree or a large fruit-bearing tree, like an awesome apple tree or something like that. So that's the encouragement that I have for you. That's what I wanted to talk to you about before we get into talking about where my channel is really at. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Okay, so before I get to the pocket chips, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the channel. First of all, thank you so much for 800 subscribers. That's an amazing number. I know I say this constantly, but I never saw myself getting here, and I'm so thankful to all of you for supporting me to this point. I could have thought maybe in my wildest dreams that I would have gotten to 500 subscribers with a lot of time and a lot of effort, but now that we're scraping towards 1,000, it's crazy. Our watch time has hit 40,000 minutes in a month, and so that's really, really crazy too, because you require an average of 20,000 minutes of watch time a month for a year straight. And so what we've done is since I put up my first video at the very end of August, we have, of last year, so 8 months or so ago, because really it's basically September. Since we released our first video at the beginning of September, end of August, it's been about 8 months, and we've hit 800 subscribers. So we're very, very easily averaging 100 subscribers a month, which is amazing. It's so cool, and it's so exciting. But then you put on top of that the fact that since August, we have also reached 50% of our time goal for monetization, which is 4,000 hours of watch time. We are at 2,000 hours of watch time, and we have made the majority of that up in the last 3 months. We're not even talking like half. We're talking about, more than 50%, like 60 to 70% of our watch time for the lifetime of the channel has been the past 3 months. Because you guys have been coming out in droves for live streams and watching my videos. You've been sharing my videos. A couple of my videos have even started getting more widespread interest, being linked to people who are watching Markiplier's videos and things like that, have suggested videos at whenever you finish one of Markiplier's videos was actually one of mine at some point, because I got views from that. And that's so cool. That's amazing. And that's you guys' support. And so I just wanted to really, really thank you for that. I'm going to try to come up with some crazy thing that if we hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month, then I'll do something insane. But, I don't really want to drink another bottle of hot sauce if I can help it. Where'd that thing go? I really don't want to drink another bottle of habanero Tabasco sauce if I can help it. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I did it for the channel. I'm glad that I have the trophy that is this empty bottle. But first of all, we want to tread new ground. Second of all, it was really, really hard on my stomach. Was the number one thing. I actually did get very sick right after that, physically ill, and was sick for a week straight. And I don't think it was that specifically, but I think maybe I was fighting off an illness already, and whenever I did that, my body was like, no, I'm done. You can't abuse me like this. So I hadn't been getting enough sleep, and I was starting to get sick, and then I drank that thing, and it just kicked everything into overdrive. And so as fun as it was, as interesting of a thing as it was, I wouldn't suggest it for anyone, just because it is dangerous. It is it's not good for you necessarily. I'm kind of a strong proponent of, if it's not good for you, then, and it may be bad for you, then perhaps you should try to avoid it. So, speaking of that, I'm gonna eat these incredibly spicy chips. So, this in and of itself is not really a 800 subscriber celebration. I'll probably do something soon for 800 subscribers. They just smell very much like grains, crackers, actually, more than chips, whenever I really get down to it. I've had some Paqui chips before. Oh, good. I love spicy food, so it's not that crazy for me. I'd eat these on my own time for sure. I'm well aware that they're going to continue to get it hotter and continue to be a problem, but with my peach Coke here available at the ready, I have something to drink, and I feel pretty confident that I can eat a lot of these chips. This is the 5.5 ounce bag. It's a little bit bigger. I'm not gonna sit here and eat an entire bag of chips. So, probably eat like 10 of them. Just enjoy them, because they're tasty. They're super tasty. I love them. So, yeah, I just kind of want to take this time to talk to you a little bit about the channel, where we're going. Thank you for everything that's been happening. Show you some of the cool things that we're getting around the office. Because like this controller actually is part of the office, my channel. Because we're going to be playing more Switch games. If you have Switch games that you're interested in seeing, let me know in the comments below on this video. I'm more than happy to play Switch games, either on videos or live streams, because I love the Switch. The Switch is awesome. It's a great little machine. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. These are super tasty. You can order them on Amazon very easily. This is super tasty. You cannot order it on Amazon. I tried. At least not easily. Maybe you can find Amazon from another country that will sell it to you and ship it to you, and you'll have to pay them in euros or something. I don't know. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it was motivating and encouraging to you. I thank you so much for being a part of this community. You encourage me, and I've been told that I encourage you, and I know you encourage each other, and so I just want to continue to encourage that, to give encouragement to each other, be supportive and loving of one another, and build people up, don't break people down. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all that you do for the channel. And I ask that you just continue to bear with me as I continue to learn how to do this better. Thank you, and as always, we'll see you in the next one. And for now, this is Nathan Blake signing off for Nathan Blake Games. Sayonara.